Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When you have to do something and you have to make some decisions, the importance of the whatever you have to do, the activity, requires, demands more thought process in order to make a decision. Let's say you say, I'm going to travel to China and I'm going to stay over there like 7 months. Well, in order to plan all that, you need to think about it and you have to foresee certain things. You have to plan, you have to put yourself in the situation being over there, what you're going to need, what's going to happen. You have to think ahead a few steps. And as I said many times, that's a characteristic of an mature adult. A person who's thinking ahead more steps than one. The first step, if you look and you process things only the first step, you're an, you know what, okay? Children do that. So anyway, we have here a situation where the European Union imposed some sanctions on Russia. And they said, well, we're not going to buy you this, we're going to wane away, we're going to get rid of your natural gas, we're going to put a cap on your oil, we're not going to buy this, we're not going to buy this, we're not going to give you this, and so on. Now you think that these are important matters. It's not like I have to go to the bathroom and I have to plan and stay here and make a list and think about 3 days how I'm going to proceed from getting off this armchair and go in the bathroom. I don't have to think that much. One step ahead kind of thinking is enough. I don't have to go like 50 steps ahead, including the fact that I did it so many times that I'm doing it already without any thought process. But here you have the European Union making all these decisions, taking all these decisions, right? They get together all these experts and intelligent people over there, and they are deciding what sanctions to impose on Russia. So that's probably have to think many steps ahead in a way that, okay, we're going to impose this sanction. What would happen? What would be the consequence of that, positive and negative? And we have to look at it in an objective way. Otherwise, we're not going to be ready. If you look at the consequences in an ideological way, then obviously we're going to miss the point. And when the situation will occur, the consequence, we are not prepared because we didn't foresee it, because we were ideologues instead of really looking to solve the problem. So I think that these experts of the European Union, when they impose sanctions on themselves, much more than on Russia, now the consequences affect them greatly. And the consequences prove, I think, that those guys are not experts and they did certain things against their own interest. I'm talking about the country's interest, because right now it's about gas, and gas is something that Europe needs in big quantity, especially Germany, and not only, but Germany is as a big a sucker of gas. In this case, guess what? They didn't figure it out. They didn't calculate. So they imposed all kind of this and that, including the fact that someone blew up the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, and we don't know who that entity was, because we're gonna reach the wrong conclusion. So we better forget about it. Okay, like, okay, Oswald killed JFK, and that's it. Done. All right. Those bullets and all that doesn't matter. Don't ask questions. That's it. I mean, forget about it. So what happens now? This article is going to show how these experts from the European Union, not calculated the consequences of trying to impose sanctions and something on Russian gas. This article comes from Sputnik. Europe, this is the title. Europe unable to replace all of Russian gas supply with other sources, EU energy chief says. I would get that guy and I would fire him, because that's what you were supposed to say when we started doing this and doing that, okay? You had come and say, you know what, I know we have to do this to punish Russia for Ukraine as an ideological decision, but as a technical decision and based on reality, if we do this, we're going to be fucked. It was your job to say, at least say it. I'm all for doing that. Yes, yes, yes. But keep in mind, cover your ass. If we do this, we might not be able to have enough gas supplies because gas is as is, and the demand seems to increase because economy grows, people, babies, and all that. Okay, so what's going on here? It is not possible for Europe to replace the entirety of its Russian gas supply with alternative sources, European Commissioner for Energy Kadri Simpson said on Tuesday. We also know, I'm quoting, we also know that it is impossible to replace 100% of Russian gas with alternative suppliers. That means that we also need other alternatives, parallel actions, Simpson said during an interview with the Atlantic Council. The statement comes as a coalition of countries led by the United States and Europe seeks to diminish Russia's revenue from energy exports, including by imposing a $60 adjustable price cap on Russian oil. Europe began moving away from Russia as a supplier of energy following the beginning of its special military operation in Ukraine on February 24th. Projects to connect the continent to new sources of energy include a turn to the United States as a supplier of fuel and plans by Slovenia to build a pipeline to Hungary for Algerian gas. However, Hungary still receives some 85% of its gas from Russia. Earlier this month, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said he would seek an exemption from European Union sanctions on Russian gas and atomic energy. Well, it's not Hungary's and Algeria's fault. You had to think more than that. You had to plan ahead more than just, we do this. One sequence of a movie that I watched. I don't watch movies, but I watched this one. I can't remember how many years. Whenever, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I can't remember. It's relatively a new movie, and it's called The Downfall, and it's a German movie, Downfall, and it's a representation of Hitler's last days in the bunker in Berlin, surrounded by Soviet Union forces. And what was the thing over there? And a lot of guys said, oh, that's a representation of Hitler, is too humane and to this. I don't care. What I want to say is that's that famous video that a lot of people use as a meme on YouTube when Hitler gets angry, that he said that Steinmeier, the General Steinmeier, will break the front and will encircle gonna open another front, and they will open that and they can escape, and the Russians will break the front and all that. Steinmeier, where is Steinmeier? And he's staying over there and said, yeah, he's looking at a paper over there with the glasses, Hitler, and in Germany said, yeah, and Steinmeier is gonna come and is gonna break the front here, and the Soviets, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna, yeah. And then one says, Mein Führer, Steinmeier could not break the front. And another guy said, I can't remember who those were, I can't remember the generals. And the other guy says, yes, Steinmeier could not follow the order. And he's like, Hitler takes his glasses like this, and he says, everybody out. He keeps 4, but actually in stays, Bormann stays in, I think, and what's his name, Goebbels. They don't leave the room. So there's been only 4 generals, or whatever they were, and I can't remember the names right now, but if I think a little bit I can remember them, but unimportant. So the other guys go out and start yelling, das war ein Befehl, that was an order, that was an orders, and he started yelling and so on. So what I'm talking about is how Hitler was making, yes, and he's gonna do here, he's gonna do this, yeah, he's gonna do that. The same thing with these guys, the European Union. Yeah, and then we're gonna have the pipeline from Algeria to Hungary, and everything's gonna be okay. And then one of the guys says, hey, Weasel, what if that doesn't happen? That's what it is with these stars. So what if that's the first step? What if that pipeline doesn't get built, Mr. Führer? What's gonna happen? Befehl, das war ein Befehl. That was an order. Too bad. You have to have thought about another option if that falls apart. So anyway, I thought it was very, very, very interesting movie. Let's put it this way. And the same with these guys. Don't blame now Hungary. Don't blame Steinmar. Okay, Adolf. Don't blame Steinmar. If all the Reich depended on Steinmar's breaking the front over there with his French SS and all that, which were the last ones, I think, were the French SS troopers were the last fighting people around the bunker. French from France. Okay, just so you know, I think it was Flanders or French. I think French they were. Anyway, check it out. So, and not from the movie. Check it out from the books or from click, 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 click. All right. SS. Yes. Franzosen. French. Anyway. So this is it. It's not France's. It's not Hungary's fault. It's not Algeria's fault. It's bad planning. And why didn't you think about this then? Only now you realize in the middle of the freaking winter. Now you realize that United States, even if it sells as it sells liquefied natural gas at a price like 1,000 times over the Russian price of its gas, they can't supply it. You can't have enough. So what are you gonna do? Now you're thinking, smack, 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 smack. Too late, even for that. There's not gonna change anything. Steinmar, das war ein Befehl. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and stay just. Be just.